a business owner, I know that you are creative, you are driven, you've got loads of ideas up there. However, sometimes you can also get distracted by those own good ideas. So in this video, lovely, I am going to show you how to harness your good ideas without getting distracted by them. And I'm going to show you a very simple technique of how I do it and what I teach my clients, which is about closing the loops. As a time and energy management coach, it's my absolute mission to help business women like you unfuck their flow and take action. And I know that sometimes having too many ideas, that can be a bit of an action getting in the way up. So if that sounds like you, stick around, lovely, because in this video, I am going to explain what closing the loops is, how you use it, and I'm also going to give you 3 practical hacks so that you can start using this immediately. Now, I know in reality it sounds really easy, like manage your good ideas and don't get distracted with them straight away. But I also get how hard that can be. I have ADHD and my dad always used to laugh at me when I was younger for having shiny object syndrome. And he'd be like, you're like a magpie, like, oh, so shiny, going off over there. But I didn't even know I had ADHD at the time. It's been a really recent diagnosis for me. And even my school report said, she distracts others and is easily distracted. And I'm like, oh, makes sense now. No shit, Sherlock. But it doesn't matter whether you've got ADHD or not. We want to find a way to harness those good ideas, that bright inspiration that just pops into your head at a random moment, but without getting distracted from it. So ideas and creativity probably are your superpower, like mine, if you are a business owner. So I don't want to kill that. What I want you to do is find a way to harness that creativity, that intuition, that inspiration, those ideas in a way that's going to serve you and not distract you from what you're meant to be doing right now. Now, on that note, this is a bit of a side topic, but there are different forms of distraction. So there are distractions from the outside world and the external. So this might be like your phone ringing or your kids interrupting you. But then we have internal distractions, which are ourselves. They could be our own inner dialogue, our own negative thoughts, or it could be waves of ideas and inspiration and we go, oh, let's act on that right now, and it takes us off in that direction when we should be doing something entirely different. So this is why we want to find a way that harnesses those good ideas without taking you down multiple rabbit loops. And whether you've got ADHD or not, to be honest, this is going to be really useful for you. Now, the reason why this is so important, lovely, is because time management isn't actually about managing time. It's about managing you and it's about managing your energy. And one of the things that we want to make sure that we're doing is that we're harnessing your focus and your energy so that you're not going down any rabbit holes that you shouldn't be right now. Because let's be honest, we have all done it where we've been super busy, we feel like we've been chained to the laptop all day, but then when we close it and we flop on the sofa and we turn on Netflix, we go, what did I actually do today? We don't even realise what we've been doing because we probably haven't even been ticking the shit off the to-do list that we needed to do because we've gone down multiple rabbit holes and multiple distractions. Now, as I said, some of those distractions are external, but a lot of the time I've noticed working with my clients as the time management coach is that those are actually internal distractions. Like, we are distracting ourselves with our own ideas. But if you keep chasing every new idea as it appears, even if it's the bestest, most brilliantest idea you've ever had, you are going to spend your days constantly chasing ideas and new shiny things and not actually get the stuff done that you needed. So let me give this as an example. A client came to me the other day with exactly this issue. She said she sat down to do one thing, which was to update her landing page on her website. Sounds simple, right? She knew the offer, she had all the copy ready. However, as she went to open up the document, she saw an email from one of her clients. So she thought, oh, I'll quickly do that. But the quickly do that turned into 2 hours because then she started going down multiple rabbit holes. Seeing the email made her realise that she had to attach a document. To attach that document, she had to tidy it up. And because she was tidying it up and she's currently going for a rebrand, she was like, well, I just need to make the document more pretty. So cue an hour, lost on Canva. And then because she couldn't find the thing that she was trying to update, she then realised she had to update all her Google documents, and then she had to realise, oh, hang on, I need to tidy up the desktop because, and then lo and behold, a couple hours have now gone. That's maybe an extreme example, but I think we've all been there. And I had this myself the other day. I was actually chatting to ChatGPT. Probably sounded like an absolute nutter to my neighbours, but anyway, I was chatting to ChatGPT about my day ahead and planning it out and the kind of mode that I needed to be in. And it said something that I was like, oh my God, that's gold. Like, I should use that in my marketing. So I was like, let's turn that into a social media post. That's brilliant. And then I started to notice myself going down this great idea rabbit hole of this social media post. And then I suddenly realized that no, that's not what I needed to do. So this is what I did. I closed the loop and saved it for later. And that's what I want to explain to you in this video. But first of all, let's explore why this even happens in the first place. Okay, so a quick bit of brain science 101 for you. Our brains love novelty. This is the novelty bias. They get very excited by new ideas, new possibilities, new shiny things, and therefore love new ideas. This is great, especially as a business owner, not so good for your time or your time management. The problem isn't the tangent itself. It's not the idea tangent that is causing the big drama. The big drama is that you're going off on that idea tangent in this moment when you should be doing something else, and it's taking you away from that activity. So this is why it happens. So now we realize that we've got to find a way to kind of park that for later, which is why my concept and my idea of closing the loops works so well. Even though it's so simple, it works so well. So let me explain. Now, for another little bit of brain science to layer onto that, there's also this concept called the Zeigarnik effect, and I'm probably butchering that as a terminology, apologies. But the Zeigarnik effect is where the brain has this really helpful habit of keep remembering the things we haven't done. So not only do we have this novelty bias, we also have the Zeigarnik effect coming into play. Shiny object, oh my God, novelty, what's this exciting thing, this idea over here? Combine that with our brain constantly reminding us, like, we need to do this thing, we need to do this thing. So this is where we need to close the loops. And this is why this is such a simple but powerful methodology, because what we want to do is close that idea. So imagine a loop, it's open, and what we want to do is we want to close that loop and park it for later. That's all we're doing with this method. We are closing the loop on that idea, we are popping it aside and saying we'll get back to that. Imagine it like your laptop and you're bookmarking a Google page to return to later. It's something like that, rather than having them all frigging open, screaming at you, and then you dotting from tab to tab. That's the analogy you need to think of it like. So, why does this work so well? Well, once you've closed that loop, the Zeigarnik effect is done. We're almost completing that loop to say, right, I don't need to worry about that now, brain. I can come back to it later. But this is the important thing. You do need to actually physically park it somewhere and put it away so that you can come back to it later. And this is where the majority of us go wrong, because we might go, oh, I'll think about that later. And then we never do. Or we put it on our to-do list, and that to-do list now is just like this mammoth list of ideas, not really to-dos. We often get confused with our to-do list and just a brain dump of ideas. And if you've seen my videos before, you might have come across the one where I talk about the to-do list and how it doesn't serve you from a time management perspective. So I'm going to link that video below. But anyway, so back to closing the loops. What we want to do is close the loops and park it for later, which is why organisation matters. This is the crucial bit where most people are going wrong, because they're trying to close the loop, but they don't have a place to park it because they don't have the organisation behind it. You've got to imagine it almost like an ideas parking lot, because they exist. What we want to do is we literally want to park it somewhere and remember where we've parked it. A bit like when you're parking a car at the multi-storey car park and you have no idea where you parked it, and you're just like wandering around level 4 looking for the blue elephant because that's what you kind of remember, but you don't really know where it is. Frustrating, time wasting. And that's exactly the same if you keep these loops closed but don't park them properly. This is where the chaos unfolds. So you need to have a system, you need to have organisation of where you're putting things. And one of the things I always say to my clients is have that home, have that document, have whatever space it is, online or offline, where you park these things, whether that's your content ideas, whether that's ideas for your next launch, whether it's, you know, just waves of inspiration and creativity. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. I want you to have a place where you're organising it. So going back to my real life example where I noticed myself almost go down that rabbit hole, chatting with ChatGPT and going, oh, that would make a great social media post. What I did was close that loop by jotting down those ideas with chat really quickly and then taking the URL from that chat and sticking it into my social media good ideas bank so that when I came to do my batching of my social media for next week, I didn't lose that good idea. I had the URL of the chat with ChatGPT where I could pick up where I left off. So I'd closed that loop and it was something I could come back to later. So as promised, let me give you 3 very simple but implementable, quick, practical hacks that you can use straight away with this. The first one is that parking lot idea. Make sure that you've got a system, pick one and stick to it. This is your parking lot of ideas. So perhaps that's a central place where you keep your social media or your marketing ideas, or perhaps there's one document or one notebook where you keep all your inspiration for the book that you're writing. It doesn't matter what it is, everything should have a home. This is your parking lot of ideas. Tip number 2, voice notes. I don't know about you, but I get my best ideas and my best creativity often when I'm walking, which isn't great because I don't have my laptop on me and I don't have a notebook on me. This is where voice notes can come so in handy because number 1, I've got my device in my hand. Number 2, I'm walking, so it's helping the creativity. And I can just voice note, which is quicker than typing, into my phone. Now, you could do that via WhatsApp, straight into ChatGPT, in your notes, using some kind of talk to text, whatever. But it's such a fantastic way to just brain dump those things and close that loop. And also, because it's digital, it's probably going to be easier to find and easier to access later. So there we go. Really easy way. Use voice notes. Another practical hack for you is the end of day review. I had a client who worked this brilliantly because she would brain dump all these little ideas and little tidbits and scraps of paper and stuff, and then by the end of it, she's just got this mountain of post-it notes and she doesn't really know what to do with it. So we implemented this system for her. Now, to be honest, she didn't do it at the end of the day. She did it more like the end of the week, but it really served her because it was her opportunity to scoop up all those good ideas, and it gave her the opportunity to rummage through those notepads and post-it notes, which, to be honest, a few days later, sometimes they're not even good ideas anymore, let's be honest. So she could discard the ones that weren't, and she could plan when she was going to execute the good ideas. And then obviously, not only is she not getting distracted, but she's also figuring out a way when she's going to take action on those ideas. So reviewing, whether it's the end of the day or end of the week, reviewing your ideas in whatever format you have captured them is a fantastic way to make sure you don't get distracted or to lose them for the future. All right, guys, so idea tangents aren't a bad thing, and I don't want to stomp your creativity. I want you to have it. However, as a time and energy management coach, I want you to harness your good ideas in a way that's not going to distract you, but is going to serve you. So this is why I really want you to start closing the loops on those good ideas that pop up at the maybe the most inappropriate of times, but I want a way for you to close those loops so that you don't lose those good ideas and don't get distracted. So the next time you catch yourself going down an idea tangent and maybe down a rabbit hole, I want you to close the loop and park it for later. Either park it in the parking lot, either use voice notes, or do an end of day or end of week review so you don't lose those good ideas. Make sure you're organised, make sure you've got one place where you put in everything, and you'll never go off an idea tangent, causing distractions, hopefully ever again. My name is Alice Dartnell. I'm a time and energy management coach, and it's my absolute mission to help business women like you unfuck their flow and take action. If this has been useful, then don't forget to like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. I drop a new video every Monday, so if you want more practical tips like this to help you with your time and your energy, then you know what to do. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and one more thing before you go. If you're somebody who likes a good plan, or maybe you're someone who you know you need to do planning, but you don't know where to start, or you struggle to stick with it, then I have created something for you that is going to be a game changer. I have put together a weekly planner and template for you. This is your ultimate cheat sheet that is going to be perfect for you if you're a busy businesswoman and you want to know how you're going to fit it all in without burning out. So link is below. It's a super practical guide. It's not fluffy. It's going to help you add structure to your week so you actually follow through on your priorities and the things that are important for you. Plus, this cheat sheet is going to give you some quick tips to avoid procrastination and stay on track, even when life gets a little bit crazy and chaotic, because sometimes it does. So before you dive into the next thing, just spend 10 seconds clicking the link and download your weekly planner and template.